Alright, I think I'm live. Yeah, I'm just gonna let some people get in the stream first, I think. Alright. Alright, people are on the stream. Hello everyone! Welcome to Gavra Racing for the Weekend League. We're round 3 in Silverstone for tonight's race at 8 PM. I'm Indy123370 and unfortunately no Velocity is alongside me today because he's away in Manchester at the moment, so I'll be your lone commentator for tonight. And yeah, so we're in Silverstone for round 3. I'll be just taking over for tonight, I guess, then, since I can't, I'm sorry, I get nervous sometimes. Since Velocity won't be able to commentate from Manchester, of course. So I'm gonna go on board here with Arpita on their outlap. I'll get all the MFDs up. Hello to everyone in the chat. So yeah, we're in Silverstone. A lot of nice corners in Silverstone, might I add. Loads of drivers very happy to get out and run in this race. So we've got everyone who's going out on the softs to start off with, but one person who's tabby top decks is on the medium to compound tires at the moment. So they could try a little medium to hard strategy, who knows, could pay off since the softs can get very, very overheated on this track. Hello to Pix Checks in the chat, hello to Alex in the chat, how are you all doing? Got loads of people in the chat actually. Hello, how are you all? This is Arpita at the moment on their lap at the moment as they go onto the straight. I forgot the name of the straight, I apologize. But they're going to be the first ones to set their lap time, which will be excellent to see, and we'll see the lap times pop up and we'll see who has the pace and who doesn't, who's gonna get pole, who might not, who's gonna be the favourites, who knows. So we're gonna go on this ride together, I guess, and we're gonna see who has the best lap time in this qualifying session. So if you're new to the Weekend League, might I explain that there is one 18-minute session for qualifying, and then there's a 25% race. Then we do a one-shot qualifying and a 25% race. So we've got basically 2 qualifying sessions and 2 races. They're both 25% races, I'm pretty sure, and one is 18 minutes and one is one shot. So Heverino has set the first lap time. It's a 1:26 dead, nearing the 1:26.1, but Arpita is going to come to the line next and is fractioning outside with a 1:26.1, followed by Pictomix with a 1:26.7, and then Mikey goes fastest with a 1:25.5, so that's a blistering time. The man who I'm pretty sure was close to the championship title in the Academy League, so they've obviously got some good pace, and they'll hopefully do well now. Obviously it's good, or there's Simons, but I think just letting driver through, I think. Hello to Simsoff, how are you doing, my friend? And yeah, so we've got 12 minutes to go in this session. Most people are out on track. In fact, I think everyone's out on track at the moment. Everybody's trying to get their laps underway. Looking at Ben Roberts at the moment as De Hebler goes second fastest with a 1:25.7, followed by Black Pixel, who has a 1:25.8. And as I say that, Isaac Smart has set a lap time to go to P3 and now P4 because JMB Surreal has set a 1:25.7. We have some yellow flags. I'm just going to check through people who have not set a lap time yet. I'm going to see who's closest to setting a lap, or closest to see who gets their laps done. Tabby Top Decks is on an invalidated lap time. Ben Roberts is just finished sector 1 and is in sector 2. Did we get the notifications of the live? I'm not too sure. I didn't get a notification, obviously, because I'm streaming the race. I'm not too sure who gets what. Yeah, I'm not sure. Did I do something wrong? Oh no. I think I might have done something wrong. Please forgive me. I did kind of... This is my second time streaming. It's the first time commentating by myself. So I will be making some mistakes. I'm just gonna give y'all some leeway there, and Lannock runs very wide there, but he does not invalidate, and he goes into P12 with a 127.4, not a bad lap time at all. Ben Roberts goes fastest with a 125.1, so blistering pace from him then. Last race's winner, I'm pretty sure, in the sprint race in Austria. I guess it could be an Austria problem, or there's obviously, I think they won in the sprint race in Austria. I think that's what I was trying to say. Oh, right. I guess it must be a bot problem then. So this is the current grid for how everyone is doing. Liam is next to cross the line now as the other two pit. I think they invalidated or had an issue on their lap. Apologies for missing that. Liam comes across the line now and sets a 1 minute 26.9, so not bad for them either. Slots them into P12. Hello to Velocity, he's in Manchester at the moment. I've already mentioned that. So yeah, he's for a break. Oh no, there's shenanigans going on in the chat now. I'll stay well clear of that, I guess, then. So we're going into the last 10 minutes now. A couple of people leaving the pits. De Hebler is leaving the pits, gonna go for another run now. So they'll most likely have 3 runs now. Loads of chats flying in. Ben Roberts now goes into the pits. Make sure he does not speed in the pit lane, obviously. That would not be very good at all. And yeah, so we're gonna have a nice run to the end of this qualifying session now. And yeah, so I'll just stay on board with De Hebler at the moment so we can see what they get up to now. I'm actually gonna get the corner names up on my phone, as I do not remember them all, as I never remember corner names at all because they're very, very hard to remember, and it gets quite hard to remember them after long since there's so many. And I see Tabby Top Dex is on an out lap at the moment, so they haven't obviously not set a lap yet. I know Keflemo hasn't set a lap yet, so they really want to get out soon and show their pace, I guess. Those two have some very good pace, so we'll see how they do. Loads of people flying out onto the track now. I believe, is that Shortbread or Arpita? I think it's Arpita who's going to go for another lap now. Oh no, they're just on an out lap, but they're about to begin their lap, so we'll have a look at this lap as they go into the Lewis Hamilton straight, as they negotiate corner 1 and corner 2 now. Going to turn 3 now. Going into turn 4 now. I might just get the corner names up while we watch that, since it goes better, I guess. Alright, so I'll have a little look in chat. Yeah, Miss Racing, yep. We all do, I think. And now Arpita is on Wilka and is going to negotiate cops now. We'll see, do they run any wide? They do take some curb, but it's all okay as they do not invalidate. Going to Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel now. Negotiating those corners all fine now, as we'll see their sector times pop up. They're 4/10 up, so this is going to be a lap to watch, I guess, then, as we'll watch them go through Stowe now. No such problems there. Oh, and I spoke too soon because they've just invalidated. Might be nice to finish this lap though to see what they can do. They've just decided to back up, but the next person who's going to cross the line is De Hebler, who's actually I'm very confused. Oh no, it's Heverino who went out for a lap, I think. So they're just on Woodcut at the moment. I am reading the corner names off my phone just in case you want to know, as I don't know them all, but I know this corner, for instance, Cops, as Heverino does not invalidate. And we've got a nice onboard, I guess. Then we see them go through Maggots, Beckett's, and finally Chapel. You can run a bit wide and get onto the grass if you need to. Heverino has not decided to do that though. They're 2/10 up on their lap, so you want to see the end of this lap now. Going to Stowe, we'll see them negotiate this corner now, and they have invalidated. So that's gonna put a sting in their lap, as I think there's one of the racing points. Either Ben Roberts or Isaac Smart is gonna try get that lap in. And yeah, so I think there's just a bit of questions about the bot for the notification going on. So I'll let that be at the moment. I think this is Isaac Smart, who is on a lap at the moment, so we'll stay on with this one as they're going to be going on to the Wellington Straight. Had to read that off my phone there, apologies. As they're going towards Brooklands now, followed very closely by Luffield. We'll see them take the corner now. No such problems at all. We've got, I think that's Tabby Top Decks is possibly on the outside, and I didn't even notice this. Tabby Top Decks went second. This is where the co-commentator, I guess, would come into effect, because I did not notice that at all. I was completely focused on who's out on track at the moment. But very good lap from Tabby Top Decks, only about 400ths behind, and they look very, very racy for this race now. You see Ben Roberts, or no, Isaac Smart, just kicking up a little bit of dust there, coming out of Chapel now with a little tyre over the curb. And we'll see them go through Stowe now. We've seen two drivers invalidate here. Isaac Smart does not invalidate. Going to the Vale chicane now, and then followed by Club. We're going to get a nice curb camera as we see him go over the line, and he crosses the line for P3, so he's 2/10 down, and Mikey slots into P4, I think that was. And Ben Roberts has gone even faster with a 1:24.8, so that lifts him about 3/10 clear of P2 in Tabby Top Decks. So we've got some out and out pace from some people. We've got a very, very close midfield. So everything is set up for a very, very nice race today in Silverstone. And then this is sorry, yeah, here is someone that Apex. I don't remember them in the last races, but I've quite a poor memory. I apologize, but they're on an unvalidated lap. But I'll have a look at De Hebler then as we get into the last 4 minutes of this qualifying. All the time has flown by in this race so far. We'll see De Hebler's sector time pop up here now. They're a 10th down in sector 1. They still probably want to finish this lap, as they might have made a mistake in another sector, who knows, but they definitely do want to finish this lap now as they go onto the straight now towards Cops. We'll see them go through Cops now. They do not run wide and do not invalidate, so brilliant for them. We'll go on board for Maggots and Beckett's. You can see they do not have any problems there going to Chapel now, as they do get onto the curb and they do invalidate, so very unfortunate for them. That's ruined their lap. JMB Surreal, I think, is coming out for a lap now. And I'll have a look now. Black Pixels on an out lap, who won in Bahrain, I'm pretty sure. MRCS, we'll have a look at him now. Or them, I don't know. As it goes to sector 1 now, sector time will pop up 2/10 up, so very, very nice for them. I do love this onboard for these two corners. It's a very, very tight two corners that I would almost consider the same corner, if I'll be honest, because they're so similar. But we'll see. We'll go on board as they go through Cops now, trying not to invalidate, and they succeed in not invalidating. Maggots and Beckett's next, very easy to invalidate. They use a lot of curb there, but thankfully do not invalidate. We'll see them go through Chapel now. No such problems for them now. We'll see their sector times pop up now, and they're 4/10 up on their lap. So we really want to see the end of this lap now. Make sure nothing bad happens to it now, as we see them go through Stowe. Completely fine on exit, does not run wide, so no chance of invalidating unless they run wide in the last two corners now. But as you can see, they do not. So we'll see them run towards the line now, and it does put them up into P5, so a brilliant lap from MRCS puts them up into the top 5 with a 1:25.5, so a lot of 5s in that number then. And everybody's now on their way for an out lap, so everybody's going to be going for their laps. We'll see a lot of cars out on track. I don't think Ben Roberts is going to go for another lap. I don't think Tabby Top Decks will be going for another lap. Ben Roberts is going for another lap. I don't think they'll make it to the line though, unless they cut the track maybe. I'm not too sure. But I do believe Black Pixel is... No, not Black Pixel. It's Kaflamo, I believe. Kaflamo is about to start a lap. They were on a lap, but they invalidated there, so I think they'll be... Oh, they got a bit of damage. Didn't even notice that. I apologize for that. And yeah, I'll have a look, so see who's coming to the line first. I'll look at Jambi Surreal. Jambi Surreal going to turn 1 and turn 2 now. We'll see. They really want to get these corners right now, as it is very crucial for the lap. They seem to be getting them all right now. No invalidation. We'll see them going on to the Wellington straight now. And at the end, we'll see their sector times pop up now. As we're going to just wait for the sector time. They're going to pop up now, and they're fractionally up on their lap time. So it's going to be nip and tuck, I guess, on if they're going to up on this lap or not. As they come out onto Woodcut. And they're gonna move on to Cops now. Make sure not to run wide at Cops. They do not run wide at Cops, so that's brilliant for them. Mackett's and Beckett's is next, followed by Chapel, and no problems from them there, but they did take a little bit of grass. I saw that their sector time pops up now. They're nearly 2/10 up, so they really want to finish this lap, as it's really tight after P1, so we want to see how this goes now. No invalidation coming into Stowe. Vale Chicane next. Make sure not to touch that sausage curb on the inside. I know it's very easy to invalidate if you do, but as we see JMB Surreal went to the line and they go into P3, so that's going to be JMB Surreal, I think, finished for the time now, as I don't think they'll be able to set another lap. Black Pixel has started a lap. I'll see who's gonna run to the line now. I think... Sorry, I keep missing cars. It's kind of hard to spot on the map. Lennox is abandoning their lap. I think Mikey's next across the line. Mikey abandons their lap. I think one of the racing points is... Yeah, Isaac Smart is 2/10 up on their lap, so we want to see this lap be completed now, as they're gonna be very close, I think, now. So we'll see Isaac Smart come across the line now, as they lost a bit of time in sector 3 there, because they only had a 600s advantage, but we see everyone's finishing their laps. Tabby Top Decks cannot improve. JMB Surreal's on an invalidated lap. Mikey's pitted. MRCS is pitted. De Hebler is going to try to finish their lap, although I can see the timing and it does not look like they're going to improve. Heparino's finished. Someone that Apex has finished. Shortbread is not up on their lap. Black Pixel's not up on their lap. Pictomix is in the pits. That mix kind of around there, and I think I saw some bodywork come off a car there. Yeah, Kaflamo has a 5-place grip penalty now for a collision with... I didn't see who that was. Apologies. I'll check in the... I'll check the standings after. So yeah, Black Pixel won't be improving. Ben Roberts is retired, so he won't be improving. So this is the grid for the F1 2020 race, Season 6 of the Weekend League in Silverstone. So this will hopefully go well for us all now. So I'll just have a quick look at the chat. So yeah, so we're gonna get ready for this first race now, and I'll quickly run us through the grid now, as I'll see the grid now, as it will pop up. Apologies. So yeah, good luck to everyone. Yeah, so Ben Roberts takes pole by 3/10, followed by Tabby Top Decks, followed by JMB Surreal, which completes the top 3. Then there's Isaac Smart, Mikey, MRCS, De Hebler, Heparino, so the two McLaren brothers there in P7 and P8. Simon the Apex and the Haas in P9. Shortbread P10, which rounds out the top 10. Then there's Black Pixel, Pictomix, Arpita, Liam, Chainsaw Boy, Lennox, and Kaflamo rounding out the top 17 now. Kefalamo does have a 5-place grid penalties. I'm actually going to check the incidents really quick. I'll just have a quick look now, and I think it's at the bottom, and I couldn't check in time, so I apologies for that. So yeah, I think rain could make it spicy, I guess, similar stuff. So we'll see how that will end up now. And we're gonna the race is gonna load up, and it is raining. So we have some weather predictionists in the chat then, because it is raining, and this is gonna spice the race up now, isn't it? I think it be wets or intermediates. I'm predicting wets because it looks like that rain is really coming down high, or it's really coming down a lot now. So yeah, someone's off. You were right, as we're gonna have a great race now, as the rain has decided to grace us with an appearance. It had to be in Silverstone in the UK, where it's always raining. Apparently, it just had to. So we're gonna see the drivers get underway for the formation lap, as there's 10 seconds to go now. And I need to plug in my phone, otherwise I won't be able to have chat and the court names, so I'll just do that now. Apologies. So I do believe that is the wet tires that people have decided to go for and run. As my USB does not want to connect, I apologize. Okay, it's connected now. So yeah, it's decided that it is the wet tire, so I was right about that. I'll get all the intervals up now. So everyone's on the wets. Yeah, everyone on the wets. As Ben Roberts leads us off for the formation lap now. Hopefully no one has an incident on the formation lap, as it does leave your tires quite cold on the start line, and you can get a very poor getaway, quite a lot of wheel spin, and it could be incredible. And I think Liam's actually in the chat. So Liam, did you see on the weather forecast if it's gonna dry up or not? Because it would be interesting if it would be drying up, so we can have a nice crossover and see. Some drivers might take a gamble, some might not, but we've only got 13 laps, so it might not be the best idea to try take a gamble. We might just want to do what everyone else is doing, because yeah, you don't really want to you don't want to mess up and with your strategy and just be behind. As we see, I think I spot a new helmet from Ben Roberts. I think it's a new George Russell design, I'm not too sure. As you obviously know, Ben Roberts loves George Russell. We can see it from the helmets he's used in the past few races now. That's a brilliant camera shot. We can see all the drivers waving, trying to get temperature into their tires, as we're getting towards the Vale chicane, where the AI takes over and everybody is going to be going towards the grid. So it's time to get towards the grid now, and we're going to get towards lights out now. So I think it will be a zero stop, so you can get those tires to the end, no problem. So regarding it doesn't dry up, so no, I wouldn't expect anyone to come into the pit lane. Am I commentating from my Daisy Center? No, I'm not. It hasn't arrived yet, so unfortunately I can't. It's just a commentator's joke, I guess. So all drivers are lining up on the grid now. So yeah, a zero stop is possible, but you can go for the one stop, although I wouldn't really recommend it. But everyone is on the back of the grid now, as we will see the lights are gone out, but we're gonna wait. They've gone out early because the game is a bit bugged, but you can see the rows are building up now, and we are underway for this race in Silverstone. Ben Roberts gets away quite well, but his teammate Isaac Smart gets a brilliant start, and JMB Cyril gets a brilliant start. Tabby Top Decks is going to challenge into turn 1 possibly. He loses out though, and that's going to allow JMB Surreal to possibly attack us. Down the inside goes Isaac Smart on JMB Surreal. We've got yellows at the back. There's a Renault, I think it's Chainsaw Boy at the back. We see all the cars run through the field now. That's JMB Surreal trying to make it a move up. Tabby Top Decks, and Tabby Top Decks is first wide, or that's Mikey, sorry. Oh no, it is Tabby Top Decks, and they've lost out in result of that. And that's Liam running very, very wide there. I did not see that. I was expecting him to hit into the barrier there because I did not see there was enough runoff there. And that's Mikey trying to go around the outside of Isaac Smart into left field. Gaflamo's gotten ahead of Arpita. They're going wheel to wheel into Woodcut, and Arpita is forced wide there. So I'm not too sure if Arpita will be happy about that at all or not. But Pictomix has fallen down as well. Liam has gotten ahead of Gaflamo going into Cops, and we've had an excellent start for this race in Silverstone, the first race in Silverstone, but Ben Roberts has led us away and is absolutely charging. De Hebler's gotten ahead of Isaac Smart. Apologies, I completely missed that. Followed by Mikey Tabi Toptex, who's fallen from 2nd down to 6th. So unfortunate for them. You can see the train of cars starting to form now as we see Liam is out of the slipstream, but he pulls back in just in time there. And indeed, velocity, Ben Roberts is flying. You've got a 2-second gap already. You can see the rain absolutely pouring down as they have a bit of a moment there going into the last corner there. They set their first lap of the race now. And might I just add, my connection is a little bit dodgy, so please just bear that in mind. I might disconnect, so maybe just keep that in mind, because I really hope it doesn't, but I can't control it. So, but Black Pixel has gotten ahead of MRCS. I think it was a cheeky dive into turn 3, and MRCS is going to try it back now. They make a little bit of contact there, and Black Pixel is not forced into a spin, but that's going to cause MRCS to lose out to Simon Ads. MRCS is spun and into the barriers, but thankfully they do not break their suspension, so they will be able to continue the race. So unfortunate for them now, as that's ruined their race, as there's only 13 laps and not many to get up. Yeah, a little bit aggressive from MRCS, a little bit, you could say that, but I'm not too sure of the situation. But I will get I don't think anyone's got a penalty. No one's got a penalty yet. Yeah, unlucky indeed. Just kind of lost it there. I think tried to get on the power a bit too early and tried to pin it through. So very, very unfortunate for them there, as the gaps to the leaders now. So yeah, Ben Roberts has almost pulled out a full pit stop window on MRCS, but MRCS will be having to come into the pit soon. Obviously you don't really want to be coming into the pits in Silverstone, because it's one of the longest pit entries ever in Formula 1. I think Interlagos is possibly longer, although I don't really find it that long, but the facts say facts, so I guess that's what you gotta believe them. So all the cars are just running through the last few corners now, as I'll get some interval gaps up. We'll have a look at. So yeah, MRCS is in the pits now, and yeah, one of the longest pit stops on the calendar. Sorry, getting my words mixed up. But yeah, very, very long pit stop. So yeah, very unfortunate. Good luck, boys. Can't make it, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh, it's Moksha. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it. Ah, right. So we hope to see you in next race, hopefully. Good luck for next race, I guess. And we hope with whatever you're doing, you succeed with it. So I'll see now. Kaflamo is kind of close to the back of Liam, so Kaflamo might be trying to get past soon the man in P13 at the moment. And Black Pixel is also quite close to the back of Heberino, going to Maggots and Beckett's, but I doubt he'll want to try and make a move on him in that position, as obviously that wouldn't be very good. It would take a lot of skill to get past. Let's just say that. And trying to get past someone is Mikey on Isaac Smart, and the man from Ireland has managed to get through, but a bit of contact there from Isaac Smart, and Mikey is forced wide, and Isaac Smart is back through. And now he's back ahead of the man from Ireland. And now we'll see. Yeah, the spray is incredible. I mean, you can't see anything, I guess, if you're one of the drivers. You can see the rain is almost falling horizontally, so it must be very windy out there on the track. But the game doesn't simulate that, of course, as you can't ask for everything, I guess. But it is Ben Roberts leading us out in front by 3.2 8 seconds at the moment. So he'll be looking to pull off into the lead now and not look back, and hopefully not have any incidents. So we're nearing 100 comments at the moment. Some people are trying to get past some people. Black Pixel is very close to the back of Heberino, so we might see an overtake now. See if they can get a better exit out onto Woodcut now. It doesn't seem so, so unfortunately for them it's going to be another corner that they're going to have to endure behind Heberino. And yeah, so I'll see now what's happening. And oh yeah, so I'll check penalties now. So actually no, I'll check position changes. I completely forgot about position changes. So Ben Roberts has led off the line, JMB Cyril's gained a position, De Hebler's gained 4 positions, Isaac Smart stayed in 4th, Mikey stayed in 5th, Heberino's gained 2 positions, Black Pixel's gained 4 positions, Tabitoptex has lost 6 positions from P2, so very unfortunate for them, as their teammate and Simon that Apex, who hasn't gained or lost a position at the moment, is trying to get past. Shortbread's not gained or lost a position. Lennox has gained 5 positions and is in P11 from P16 now. Liam has gained 2 positions. Kiflama has gained 4 positions. Arpita has lost 1 position. Chainsaw Boy has not gained any positions or lost any positions. Pictomix has lost 4 positions. And MRCS, his Red Bull teammate, has lost 11 positions and is very sadly back 36 seconds behind now. And yeah, only 2 penalties, but we've just jinxed that because we've now got 5 now. So I'll have a look at these penalties now. We'll see. So yeah, we've got 3 seconds for Tabitoptex, 3 seconds for Liam. I dropped my phone, how classic is that? 3 seconds for Clefamo, as Mikey and Isaac Smart are now going wheel to wheel. Mikey is finally ahead of the man from the UK, and Mikey is now up into P4 and is going to look to chase after De Hebler now. Speaking of De Hebler, gets a 3-second penalty there for multiple track violations, as Arpita, I think, might have just gotten past Kaflemo into Cops. Apologies for missing that. That must have been incredible to an incredible move, so apologies for missing that. And going back to penalties, we've got a 3-second penalty for Pictomix, a 3-second penalty for MRCS, and a 3-second penalty for Kaflamo, as Tabitoptex has finally been passed by their teammate. So the wet weather is obviously not suiting Tabitoptex's driving style at the moment, and they're sliding back from P2 and they're now back in P9. So Heberino is going to be trying to get past Isaac Smart. Isaac Smart seems to have dropped off the pace a bit. Obviously people have different pace in dry and wet, as Kaflemo gets another penalty there for multiple track violations. That now 6 seconds of penalty, as Isaac Smart has an incident there and has managed to catch the car but is lost out to Heberino. But Isaac Smart's going to try continue out on the outside but loses out and loses the position to Black Pixel as well. So one mistake there has proven very costly and has lost Isaac Smart 2 positions there. And they're now back in P7, so very, very unfortunate for Isaac Smart, as their teammate Ben Roberts is now 6.3 seconds out in the lead, followed by JMB Surreal and De Hebler, which round out the top 3 at the moment. As we see this little fight, I guess, for P11, so all aboard the Liam train, consisting of Liam, Lennox, Arpita and Kaflemo, followed kind of closely by Chainsaw Boy. I did not nick that all aboard the train from Toussaint, or no, not Toussaint, it was Natty, I think he said it once, as we have Yellows in Sector 1, and that's a Red Bull, I think, and it's MRCS, who is spun down just before the Wellington Strait, so very unfortunate for them. As, yeah, so very unfortunate. That's the second spin MRCS has had, and I think they don't have any damage, so that's alright for them, but it has put them even further back now, as I think, did I see someone going wheel to wheeler? I'm not too sure, but there is some gearbox glitches, so I apologize for that. It's very annoying that the sound is just deafening, I guess. So apologies for that. I think it's just a glitch with my game. I'm not too sure. I don't know if other people have it. But Lennox has been given a 3-second time penalty for multiple track violations. Obviously this game is quite strict with the track violations, and it's very easy to get penalties, but if you put it on the more lenient track limits, people can just abuse them. So you gotta have either too weak or too lenient. You can either have them too lenient or too strict, and I guess the strict one is the better one to do. As I was talking there, Flammo gets past Lennox in the train as Liam is trying to get past Tabby Top Decks now, so I think Tabby Top Decks might have had an incident there, as they're back now in P11 and Liam is now up and through into the points for this weekend league round now in Silverstone season 6 on F1 2020. And that puts Tabby Top Decks out of the points, so very unfortunate for them, as they started in P2 at the very start. So the wet weather obviously doesn't really suit Tabby Top Decks, and they're just falling down the order as a result. And the same thing I think goes for Isaac Smart, as they started quite high up and are now sliding down the order and sliding a little bit on the track as well, as some of that Apex, who looks like they have got some pace in the wet, are getting up the rankings now and are up in P7 at the moment. Velocity might race in Weekend League as a replacement. Yeah, so yeah, I just having a quick look at chat there. Apologies for not talking there. And yeah, so that's Tabby Top Decks who just collided with Liam there. I think Tabby Top Decks might have just outbroke themselves, might have misjudged the braking point there and just tapped Liam at the rear end there, and Liam thankfully caught it, so they won't be going into a spin or anything. As I'll check who has the fast lap at the moment. So Liam is retaining that P10 at the moment. I'll check fast lap. Fastest lap goes to Ben Roberts, who is leading and are currently on for a Grand Shalom, I think that's how you say it, or a Grand Slam, I'm not too sure. I think it's Grand Shalom in racing, I'm not too sure. But so far they've had pole, they've led every single lap of this race, and they currently have the fastest lap. They have a 1 minute 40.1, which is way quicker than everyone else at the moment. The closest lap time I think at the moment is Mikey with a 140.4 at the moment, so I'll actually check the interval for Mikey at the moment, because yeah, I think Mikey's kind of closing in a bit on JMB Surreal at the moment, and that gearbox glitch is really driving me crazy, so I won't stay on that at all. And I think Heberino is using up a bit of fuel, as I saw their fuel light came on there. Seeing everyone go through the chicane now, and yeah, so as that's Lennox pitting, so as Lennox picked up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Lennox might have some damage, I'm not too sure there. I might have a quick look there, as we'll see the AlphaTauri pit crew. Can you have a broken gearbox in the game? No, you can't, but yeah, you can't have broken gearbox. It's just my game's a bit glitched, and I missed Lennox's pit stop, so I couldn't check if they had to change their front wing or not, so I couldn't change that. So yeah, going back, again, you not like have the pit stop. Yeah, the gearbox. You can't break your gearbox. It's just a glitch I have. I think it's kind of because my internet is a little bit poor at the moment. Yeah, and you can wear the gearbox. Yeah, a good point from Velocity. As Shortbread is quite close to the back of Isaac Smart now, as Isaac Smart gets a little bit of a slide there, and Shortbread is going to have a great run now onto the hanger straight, as it's now wheel to wheel, as Shortbread just pulls ahead of the Racing Point now. And is now up into P8 as we're on lap 10 now out of 13 laps. So Ben Roberts has got 3 laps to go, and then they can claim their Grand Shalom, regarding that they can keep it on the racetrack and not get overtaken by JMB Surreal. But that wouldn't be very likely, as Ben Roberts has had a great race so far and is 10.2 seconds out in front. So they've had an excellent race at the moment. They've just kept it so far on track. It looks like the car's on rails. It just looks incredible for them at the moment. So, looking a bit further back in the field, Pictomex is looking to line up and move on Chainsaw Boy. We'll ride on board with Pictomex for a little bit. I'll just have a look at like the intervals just to make sure no one's overtaking or anything while I'm on board with this with Pictomex at the moment. Sorry, I can lose my words sometimes. But Pictomex is deploying overtake, and I don't think we'll be able to get past Chainsaw Boy on this occasion on the straight, but we'll be looking to get past soon as I look further ahead now, as Ben Roberts just going through Stowe, followed by JMB Surreal and Mikey. So we have now... Oh, and Pictomex has passed Chainsaw Boy, going on the inside into Cops. The one time I look away, that happens. Great job from me. Absolutely incredible. It's top class commentating here from ND, I guess. And Shortbread has left the session, so Shortbread, I think, is disconnected. So that's just going to be their AI driving now, I think. So yeah, so they're unfortunately, hopefully they can get back into the lobby. So yeah, so impressive from Ben Roberts. Yeah, all around, I guess he's done very well at the moment. And yeah, so there's Black Pixel trying to line up a move on Heverino at the moment as MRCS gets a penalty. I'll run through the penalties again actually while we watch Black Pixel in their attempt to get past Heverino in the McLaren at the moment. So De Hefler has got a 3-second time penalty, so the top 3 do not have penalties at all, which is very nice to see, I guess, since as Isaac Smart has gotten past Shortbread in the end. So Shortbread's AI has been dropping them back through the field, and Isaac Smart has gained a free position from that, and that's really classic from me, I think. Apologies, I drop things a lot. Sexify knows, or Velocity, I'm sorry. I got his name wrong. I'm gonna get in trouble for that, I think. But I'll go through the penalties. I forgot, sorry. So De Hebler has a 3-second penalty, Black Pixel has a 3-second penalty, Isaac Smart has a 3-second penalty, Liam has 6 seconds of penalties, Tabby Top Dex has 3 seconds of penalties, Keflemo has 15 seconds of penalties, Pictomex has a 6-second penalty, Chainsaw Boy has 3 seconds, Lanok has 8 seconds, and MRCS has 9 seconds at the moment, and that's Arpita getting past Liam in the end. I think it's a nice little dive bomb into the Vale chicane. So Liam will try to get back past as soon as possible, I guess. Velocity, yeah. It wasn't my phone; it was my controller. Okay, and that's Isaac Smart is off into the wall. Isaac Smart's off into the wall, and that's ruined their race now. And you can see they've broken their front wing. They've got no end plates at the moment, so that's so unfortunate for Isaac Smart, as I don't think they've scored a point yet, so very unfortunate for them, as they've now got to try to get back to the pits in time as their teammate runs off into the lead now. So it's so unfortunate for Isaac Smart, as Pictomex is gonna Pictomex is spun. Pictomex is spun off now, so I don't know what happened there, but Pictomex has got damaged. I don't know what happened. He was on the straight, and I don't know if he made contact with someone. Our Pete has gotten past Shortbread's I may add, but I don't know what happened there. a little odd. I don't know what happened there. I just checked the camera and we have more yellows. Is that Black Pixel? I think Black Pixel had an incident. All manner of things are kicking off now. I think the grip might be just going away from people. The Shortbread has managed to reconnect to the session. So I think the grip might be coming in for everyone. I think he might have touched the grass, but I don't understand how he managed to have his front wing broken, because he had his front wing broken on the straight, unless he broke it already, but I don't know how that happened. But this has changed a lot of things now, so I don't know what's going to happen now, because it seems like Isaac Smart's been given a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and so has Pictomix. Isaac Smart's retired from the session, alright, and so he's retired in the pit lane, I guess. And we have yellow. Oh yeah, that's just the 2 drivers retiring in the pit lane. But one man who has managed to keep everything on the track so far, Ben Roberts, who has had pole, has led every single lap of this race, has the fastest lap as well. It's been an incredible, very, very, very well deserved victory for Ben Roberts, a completely deserved victory for Ben Roberts. Ben Roberts comes across the line now to win the Silverstone race, and MRCS has spun on the pit straight. I just saw that there as Ben Roberts comes across the line. MRCS has crossed the line now, as there have been a lap down. JMB Surreal comes home just ahead of Mike to hold off Mikey for P2, and Mikey P3. De Hebler goes into P4. Heverino comes across the line for P5. I don't know what the yellows are for. Black Pixel comes home for P6. Someone that Apex inherits that P6 as Black Pixel has some penalties, so Black Pixel gets dropped down to P7. Arpita comes home for P8. Liam comes home for P9. Shortbread comes home for P10. Tabby Top Decks comes home for P11 but inherits P10 from Shortbread, as Shortbread has more penalties than them. Chainsaw Boy comes home from P12. Keflama is going to come through the Veil Chicane and claim P13, followed by Lanark and MRCS, which is going to round out this first race in Silverstone for the Weekend League round 3 of season 6. As we'll just see Lanark come through the Veil Chicane to cross the line now. So Lanark claims P14 now, and that's rounded out the grid for the first race. So very, very nice race to start off, full of moves and incidents, unfortunateness. I don't know if that's a word or not, but don't quote me on it. We'll see Ben Roberts come out for the podium now. I'll show the podium since it's, I guess, an interesting thing to show. So yeah, Ben Roberts winning, followed by JMB Surreal and Mikey, which completes the top 3. And I think we can skip this now, so I'll show now the leaderboard. So Ben Roberts comes home for the win with a Grand Shalom. JMB Surreal comes home for P2, followed by Mikey, which rounds up the top 3. Then there's the 2 McLaren brothers of De Hebler and Heverino. Then there's Simon the Apex, who comes home for P6. Black Pixel claims P7. Arpita has P8. Liam has P9. Tabby Top Decks has the last points paying position, which is P10. Shortbread is just outside with P11, followed by Chainsaw Boy, Keflemo, Lennox, MRCS, Pictomix, and Isaac Smart, who are both retired from the race. As we'll just see this session round out now, and we'll go for the next race. So please don't go anywhere. We've got another race going on and one-shot qualifying. So please stay for this, because the one-shot qualifying can get very, very interesting, as it can be anyone can invalidate and it can ruin their lap. So we can have some very odd pole sitters, and it sets it up for a very nice race at the moment. So yeah, incredible job, Ben Roberts. You did a great job in that race. It was fully controlled. A Grand Slam as well, so you got to be happy with that. as we'll just load out and we'll let Gavra do the settings now for this race. So, did everyone enjoy the first race? I certainly did. Well, I'll have your opinions now, I guess, in the chat if you're kind enough to put them in. As we'll just wait for the settings to get changed now. As we've now got the one-shot qualifying going in now. I think everyone's readying up, not too sure. I'll check now. Yeah, everyone's readying up. So we'll be ready to go into the next race now. And we'll be going to one-shot qualifying now. So I'll be riding on board with someone, and I'll be able to. Oh yeah, championship standings. I completely forgot. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's my first time commentating by myself and being the main commentator, so I gotta start somewhere, I guess. So apologies for that. So I'll just go onto the website now, and I'll check that as we load into the qualifying, and I'll do the onboard with someone for the one-shot qualifying, which leads on to the next race, which I guess is the sprint race. You could say we've had the feature race first, and now we've got the sprint race. I don't know if that's what it's called here, but I know that's what it's called in F2, and I guess you could kind of count it like that. So we'll see how this all goes now. As I'll just see we'll see one car come through now, and it's completely dry for the one-shot qualifying session, so no rain to spice anything up, but I guess that might be better. Not too sure. And we'll see now as everyone readies up, and we'll have a look for the onboards now. Right. Just waiting for everyone to ready up, sorry. I could be doing the championship standings right now, but I think I wouldn't get through them all by the time, so it's probably for the best bet. I'll just wait for everyone to ready up now. Yeah, we've got everyone readied up now, so I'll be riding on board with Tabby Top Decks as we soon go on to the Hamilton Straight now, as they'll negotiate Abbey and Farm now as they go into Village next. Completely navigated well there now as they go onto the loop and onto Aintree, and all of a sudden we're now onto the Wellington Straight as he now has DRS wide open. Ben Roberts is currently leading it at the moment, and we'll see Tabby Top Decks come into Sector 1 now, going into Luffield and Brooklands, followed by Luffield, apologies for that, now exiting onto Woodcut now, the old start finish straight, as we'll go on the nice run up now towards Cops, taking in at tremendous speed now, a slight lift to get you through the corner and not to run wide. Tabby Top Decks is really on this lap now, as we'll see them go through Maggots, Beckett's, no problems whatsoever. Chapel now doesn't seem to have any problems, but takes it a bit awkwardly and is onto the grass and has lost a lot of time now. We'll see now go onto the Hangar Straight as they will now negotiate Stowe. No such problems there, they do not invalidate. Vale's next corner now, or the Vale chicane is next now. No problems for them now as they go through Club now, and they cross the line for P9 as Ben Roberts takes another pole position, followed by Mikey and Isaac Smart. So kind of familiar faces, apologies, I can't get my words out obviously. But we have got some disqualifications. I'm going to repeat that. Disqualifications from some drivers there. We've got I'll just run through the grid now. So we've got Ben Roberts taking pole, both at 125.1, followed by Mikey East 2 tenths back, just ahead of Isaac Smart, which rounds out the top three. Then there's MRCS just ahead of the two McLaren brothers of De Hebler and Heberino. So we've got a German 4, 5, 6, followed by Shortbread and JMB Surreal, who take P7 and P8. Then there's Tabby Top Decks and Liam, who round out the top 10. Then there's Lennox, just very close to the top 10. Then there's Pictomix, who has P12, and then there's Black Pixel, Simon That Apex, Clifflemo, Chainsaw Boy, and Arpita, who have all had their lap times disqualified, and they haven't been able to set a lap. I see JMB Surreal has opted for the medium compound tires there, so that's kind of interesting to see. So they'll be going to start on the medium tires then. And yeah, Ben again, wow, yeah, I mean, that's 2 poles in a row now. Ben Roberts has obviously shown that they've got some pace. I'm going to get the time, or it is completely sunny now, so no chance of rain, I guess, then. But I will get the championship standings now, as Velocity has been begging me to get them up now. And I'll have them here now, just mention it's a bit slow. And yeah, so I'll get the championship standings now. Yep, alright, here's the standings. So it's Black Pixel who's currently leading the championship at the moment on 49 points, followed closely by Hebrino on 47 points. Then there's Mikey on 45 points, so the top 3 are very, very close. Then there's De Hebler, who's in P4, Moksha is in P5, Ben Roberts is in P6, JMB Surreal's in P7, Arpita is on P8, Shortbread's in P9, Lowline's in P10, XCM Morrison is P11, Keflemo is in P12, MRCS is P13, Lennox is P14, Liam is P15, Chainsaw Boy is P16, Tabby Top Dex is P17, Pictomix is P18, and Isaac Smart is P19 at the moment. So that is the championship standings as of last race, which was in Austria. So they will obviously get updated now, as obviously drivers have gotten different positions and have changed up the championship. So this will be interesting for the championship standings now, as I will not actually try do some maths at the moment, because my maths is absolutely terrible. I think I'm gonna get dropped down to ordinary level, so don't quote any of my maths. So I won't bless you with that, unfortunately. So it is Ben Roberts who's leading everyone on the formation lap at the moment, followed by Mikey and Isaac Smart, who are the top 3, as I've already mentioned, at the moment. Then there's MRCS, and followed by the German co of De Hebler and Heverino. So it's German 456, as I've already said. And then there's Shortbread, JMB Surreal, Chubby Top Dex, and Liam, who round out the top 10. I'm going to get the tyre strategies up now. Sorry, I'm a little bit delayed on this now. So the tyres, what's everyone going for tyres? We'll have a look now. Yeah, so everyone's deciding to go for softs, apart from JMB Surreal, who's opted for the medium compound tyres, and Arpita, who's starting from the back, who's opted for the medium compound tyres. But we're going to see Ben Roberts now go through club now, and they're gonna go onto, they're gonna pull into their grid spot, followed very closely, might I add, by Mikey and their Racing Point teammate of Isaac Smart. And then we see the Red Bull slot into their position. That's the top 4 you see in their positions now. We see everybody behind getting into their positions. Arpita's going to be the last to get into their position at the moment, as we see the lights illuminating now. Obviously the lights are a bit broken, as the game is a little bit bugged, as I've mentioned before, but we're going to see the res rise now on the MFD, and we'll see the cars get unghosted, and we're underway, and Ben Roberts leads them off the line, as Mikey gets quite an incredible start. Actually, they're leading into turn 1, followed by Ben Roberts, Isaac Smart, and MRCS, the top 4 there, not really changing much, followed by De Hebler and Heberino, Shortbread, JMB Surreal, and Tabby Top Dex, as we have yellows in sector 1. I'm not sure who has spun at the back. I think it's a Red Bull, it's MRCS, I think. Yes, they have had an incident at the back, followed then. So the top 4 have remained relatively unchanged, apart from Mikey getting ahead of Ben Roberts at the start. Then there's the German 4 and 5 from De Hebler and Heberino. Then there's Shortbread, JMB Surreal, Black Pixel, Tabby Top Dex, Lennox, Liam, Simon That Apex, Keflemo, Arpita, Chainsaw Boy, Pictomix, and MRCS. The 2 Red Bulls are currently in last place. I think MRCS had an incident at the start there, so very unfortunate for that Red Bull. They've had another incident, which is so unfortunate for them, as their hope of points and championship points rather dashed at the moment. And we have yellows in sector 2, and that's Pictomix, so it's double down for Red Bull at the moment. Pictomix has lost their complete front wing, as we have a virtual safety car now. So that's brought out the virtual safety car, as someone that Apex has been given a penalty for a collision with Liam. So yeah, they're gonna, I think they might have broken their front wing. So yeah, they've broken their front wing. So loads of cars coming into the pits now, as I think a couple of cars might try to make their strategy go to the end now, and which is, I guess, a bold strategy. But yeah, people are gonna go for the gamble. I'd say they probably go for hard tires and try to get to the end, as it will be quite hard to get to the end on the medium tires. I think it would probably even be impossible, as someone got a 5-second penalty there for speeding in the pit lane. So unfortunate for them. Ooh, VSE, yeah, VSE indeed. And MRCS has been given a drive-through for speeding under VSE as we go green again. Mikey leads everyone over the over, followed by Ben Roberts, Isaac Smart and De Heber, which are the top 4, as I've already mentioned. Let's see if anyone's going to try get a move done on someone. I see Black Pixel is very close to the back of the Renault of JMB Surreal. Apologies, my mic cut out there. Apologies for that, and I don't think you heard what I was saying there, but apologies. Sometimes my mic cuts out like that. And MRCS has been given a penalty, as Black Pixel is going to try to get past JB Surreal now. Surreal now. There's yellows in sector 1 as Black Pixel gets past JB Surreal, as Pictomix has retired from the session. So that's the Red Bull out of the race then, and that's going to hamper the Red Bull team then, as Pictomix has left the session now, and all the drivers are gonna get into their positions now, as Gaflemo is in the Mercedes at the moment. I don't know what's the situation with Gaflemo at the moment. They seem to be between Ferrari and Mercedes. I'm not too sure. They might have like a glitch or something. I'm not too sure. I might have to ask Gavra on that one. I'm not too sure. I have seen it in previous races. I think they might have an issue with something. I'm not too sure at all. That's a pretty big lock up there for Mikey going into Woodcut, onto the Woodcut Street now, as they're getting followed kind of closely by Ben Roberts, who has their teammate of Isaac Smart behind now, trying to score some points now. Then there's De Hebler, Shortbread, Black Pixel, JMB Surreal, Lennox, Liam and Keflemo, which round out the top 10 of this race now. So they're all the drivers who's going to be scoring points in this race. So the points obviously run down from who has the, so P10 would have P1 point, and then it would scale up as you get further up the scale, I guess. So I'll have a look at the position changes now. So Mikey has gained a position, Ben Roberts has lost a position, Isaac Smart has not gained or lost any positions as Mikey sets the fastest lap, De Hebler has gained a position, Black Pixel has gained 8 positions, Shortbread has gained a position, JMB Surreal has gained a position, Lennox has gained 3 positions, Liam has gained 1 position, Keflemo has gained 5 positions, Heberino has lost 5 positions, MRCS has lost 8 positions, Chainsaw Boy has gained 3 positions, Simon that Apex, who I think is standing in for ex-CM Morrison, is in P14 and has not gained or lost any positions. Arpita has gained 2 positions from last place, and Tabby Top Dex has lost 7 positions, but I do believe they had pitted at the moment. And we have Pictomix out, who has lost 5 positions, so unfortunate for them. If you're just tuning in now, I'm ND, and I should usually be alongside Velocity at the moment, but Velocity is away at the moment, so unfortunately he can't commentate next to me, so I'm going to be alone, and that's probably why you won't be hearing anyone else in this commentator's chat unless someone joins by accident, but that would probably be quite unlikely. But I know I'm known for jinxing things, so I might mess it up, who knows. But Lennox has been given a 3-second time penalty for multiple track violations, and Mikey crosses the line now to start lap 5 of this 13 lap race, so we're almost halfway through at the end now. So these two races have absolutely flown by. I'm sure my voice will be loving a break after this. You might be able to tell in my voice it's kind of dying now. It does die towards the end, so please give me some leeway. It's hard to talk for an hour by yourself, so it's just I'll be a little bit dead towards the end, but please don't take that into consideration, as we have a spinner and a shortbread who's spun at the back now, and they're gonna lose positions as they've dropped down into P9 and now P10. So unfortunate for them, as they're running high up into P4, P5, and actually, as I saw that, I think De Hebler was overtaken by Black Pixel there. Or De Hebler overtook Black Pixel, apologies, and they've moved themselves up into P4, so that's all good for them now, as Ben Roberts is getting increasingly close to the back of Mikey, as I think he pulled out there to try go around the outside. Ben Roberts is still going to have to stay in P2 for the time being, as this is going to be a juicy battle for the lead now, as we see a lock-up from Mikey. Ben Roberts is going to take this as an invitation to get past now, as De Hebler's gotten past Isaac Smart, who comes into the pits. We can ride on board with the Racing Point as they go through village and farm now, as we see another lockup from Mikey and another again. So Mikey might be feeling the pressure at the moment. Liam gets a 3-second penalty for multiple track violations. James Surreal is also in the pits with Isaac Smart at the moment, trying to change those tyres over at the moment. As you see, Ben Roberts is just a little bit too far back at the moment to make a move on Mikey. But it's going to be an incredible battle for the lead now, as Jamie Surreal has been overtaken by Heperino and... oh, sorry, I think I mixed that up there. Jamie Surreal is in the pits, has just exited the pits, as I can see on my little track map there. And we'll see how that goes now, as Ben Roberts is getting very, very close to the back of Mikey now, as they are not going to deploy any ERS. They're going to use all that slipstream, such a powerful slipstream coupled with DRS. Mikey covers the track very, very well to make sure there's no cheeky dive bomb or cheeky slide up the inside, as Mikey pits and Ben Roberts almost follows him in the pits, but that's going to be an overcut attempt for Mikey, or for Ben Roberts. Then they're going to try to stay out and maximise those tyres, as De Hebler and Black Pixel follow Mikey into the pits now, and that lets Lennox up into P5, and there's followed by Liam and Keflemo. So the two Mercedes teammates are running kind of close together. Heperino gets overtaken there by Isaac Smart, so that's Isaac Smart now running up in P9. The man has obviously changed tyres now, so he's onto the mediums. I see a couple of drivers on hard, so I'll have a look at the pit stops now. So yeah, JMB Surreal's going to try to get those soft tyres at the end. I think they will be able to, as they did in mediums to soft strategy. Here's Shortbread, who's lining up a move on Keflemo at the moment. Shortbread is up into P4 now, and is ahead of the Mercedes now, and has got Liam ahead now in the other Mercedes. I'm going to have a quick look at chat now. It's very quiet today. Only 8 viewers. Yeah, I guess people don't really want to hear my voice. I think a lot of people joined in the I did see there's a lot of people who joined in at the start, but I guess people don't really like my voice, which I guess is understandable, as a very monotonous voice. But you can't make everyone like you, so I guess that's just gonna be how life goes. As Ben Roberts pulls into the pits, and we're gonna I'm gonna watch this now, as we're gonna see the Racing Point pit crew service Ben Roberts' car, as Lennox has been given a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. We've got the Alfa Romeo pit crew out as well for Shortbread. Quick pit stop for Ben Roberts there, as it's going to be nip and tuck now with Mikey. Will the overcut work for Ben Roberts? We're going to see Mikey is coming through club now. Ben Roberts is getting to the pit exit now. As the overcut worked for Ben Roberts, we can see Mikey's coming through now. Mikey's coming through the first corner. Ben Roberts is out and ahead of Mikey, but Mikey's going to go to the outside. Mikey's going to try and make it a move on the outside now. Mikey's got the inside line now. Apologies, I've lost the camera, but there's still wheel to wheel going onto the hanger straight. Ben Roberts is just ahead of Mikey, but Mikey's got the DRS now. This is a great battle now as they go into Luffield. Mikey's on the outside, Ben Roberts is on the inside. Mikey's going to try go for a switchback and is going to try go for the outside line now, but he just can't fight it, and that's Ben Roberts now back up into the lead. From the man from pole position is now back up in the lead and is ahead of the man from Ireland, and who is now in P2 and might fall back into the clutches of Isaac Smart, who's running very keen in P3 as Mikey runs very, very wide there and is maybe got their confidence knocked a bit. Maybe they're just on the fresh tires now and they might be just trying to warm them up, as I saw they went a bit over the curb there. But now is Mikey going to try get back at Ben Roberts on the hanger straight now? They're just a little bit too far back now, and that's going to leave Ben Roberts ahead. So Ben Roberts is now through now. Yeah, great overcut. Yeah, pitch 6 insert Stroll replay. I think I did kind of do that though with the I think I did kind of do that with the where I cut to Isaac Smart and then I cut to MRCS. So I think I did my own edition of Lance Stroll replay, of a Lance Stroll replay meme. So I guess someone could maybe edit that. I'm not too sure if someone's got the editing skills for that, as Liam's gotten past Lannock going into turn 1 as Lannock goes over the grass there. Liam runs a bit wide. I think it's lost out in the end, but I think Lannock is giving the position back to Liam. I don't know what happened there. I think Lannock might have run a bit wide and taken the position. I'm not too sure, but that's given Liam the position back now, as my arm is absolutely killing me, but I'm going to soldier on because it's the commentating that you're all interested in, not my arm. So we'll see now. Mikey is still maintaining a good gap to Ben Roberts at the moment and is in DRS range now. I think they're a little bit too far back as Liam has left the session. I think they've disconnected, so Liam's AI will be driving now, so unfortunate for them. Hopefully they'll be able to get back in now. Gavra, if you could maybe send an invite to Liam, that would probably help him, I think. So apologies if you have to do that. If you want me to do it, I think I can, but I don't know because I don't have Liam as a friend on PlayStation, so we'll see how that goes. As Ben Roberts has set a new fastest lap, but he's still got Mikey in his slipstream, and Mikey is still looking to get past now. So yeah, hello. It's not commentators, it's just commentator. So unfortunate, as Velocity is away at the moment, so it's just me and Andy in the commentary box, as some of the Apex has gotten past Liam, but I'm going to stay on board with Mikey, as this is where the lead action is at the moment. But that's, I think, Black Pixel pulling out to try to get past Heberino. Heberino's going to try continuing on the outside, but might try to go for the switchback, but it's just a little bit too far to try to go for the outside move. They might have a good exit going onto Woodcut, but it's just too far back for them, as Keflama's gotten past Lennox now as well. So the Mercedes is through ahead of the AlphaTauri, and some of that Apex is all over the back now. The Haas is all over the back of the AlphaTauri, the newly renamed AlphaTauri from last year of 2019, of course, but we're in 2021, but this game is set in 2020, so it is last year if you're speaking from the game perspective. But if you're watching this from the future, it might be from, it might be even further back. So hello to you in the future if you are watching. But this is Mikey trying to get past Ben Roberts. I just saw there, I think Mikey had a little go on the outside there, but couldn't get past in the end. So Ben Roberts still holds on to P1, so we're going to have maybe a nice little battle in the last 3 laps now, as if this would be nice to see, I guess, since Ben Roberts has got a bit of a challenge now on their hands, since they didn't really have much of a challenge last race, as I think Mikey's all over the back there inspecting the bolts of the gearbox that are holding the gearbox onto that racing point. But Mikey is coming, he's coming very fast, and he's going to go for the inside line on Ben Roberts. And Ben Roberts is going to hold it on the outside though, and which is going to transition into the inside line. Mikey's going to get a better exit though, Ben Roberts gets onto the grass there. Mikey's deploying ERS. He's very, very close now. Is he going to go and pull out for a move going into cops? We've got yellows in Sector 1. I think that's an AlphaTauri. It's Lennox who has spun, I think. But he's managed to get back on the track. But this is getting a very, very, very close race at the moment. Liam absolutely got no idea what happened. Just, unfortunate. Sad for you. I hope you get back soon. But Mikey's got DRS wide open. He's going to go for the outside line going into Stowe. Isaac Smart covers the inside line. Mikey's going to try hold it on the outside. We've got a bit of a poor camera angle. We've got front wing camera angles. Ben Roberts is going to try get it on the outside into the Vale chicane. But Mikey is now ahead, and we've got a new race leader. So do not go anywhere for these last 2 laps now, because this is going to get mental. As we see an incredible battle for the race now. The 8 people in this chat are very, very lucky. Are very, very lucky, as you've put up with my voice and you're now getting rewarded with this incredible battle for the end. Now Ben Roberts is dropping back already from Mikey, but he's got the DRS to try help him get ahead, as Lennox has been overtaken by Tabby Topdex and Arpita, who, as Lennox has pulled into the pit lane, but Lennox has been given a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's gonna not add to their benefit. As we'll go back up to the front now. It's Mikey leading Ben Roberts by 5/10. As Mikey goes through Mackett's and Beckett's now, trying to shake that racing point behind. We've got there, as Mikey picks up a penalty, which is going to change everything now. That's going to change everything. Because, yeah, unless Ben Roberts gets a penalty, or spins, or drops back too far, Mikey is going to lose the race win now. So that's very, very unfortunate for them. And that's ruined their shot at a race win. So, as we enter the last lap, this is all changed now. We've got yellows. I think that was a red, but it might be MRCS, who has had an incident going into Luffield onto the Woodcut Straight. But I'm going to focus now on the leaders, as we've got some, I think we've got some people close. That's Black Pixel trying to get past De Hebler. De Hebler is defending quite well, but Ben Roberts might want that track position instead of inheriting the win on penalties. He's very, very close to the back of Mikey. He's trying to get the best exit possible onto World Cup, but he's kind of compromised it a bit. But there's also other battles going on behind him. There's a fight for P4 at the moment, but I think Isaac Smart has that P3 confirmed and booked in place now, unless I'm not too sure about the penalty intervals. But this is gonna try get Black Pixel is going to try get De Hebler with the DRS straight now before the line, as Black Pixel actually gets a penalty, so that's going to deny their chance of getting P4 unless De Hebler gets a penalty or loses their position, or yeah, sorry, I'm losing my words. But Ben Roberts is not going to be able to claim, as that's, I think Arpita has been taken out there, but Mikey comes across the line to take the race victory, but Ben Roberts inherits it on penalties. Isaac Smart comes home to take P3 on the track, but drops back to P5, as JMB's Real inherits a podium ahead of Heverino. So we weren't really expecting that, as De Hebler and Black Pixel are pushed back down to P6 and P7, followed by Shortbread in P8. Then there's Kaflema is going to come home in P9, followed by Simon the Apex, which rounds out the top 10. Then we have Tabby Topdex, who have had shows some very good pace, but have been unfortunate. They've had good pace in qualifying, but haven't had great pace in the race, so it's unfortunate for them. They come home for P11, followed closely by Chainsaw Boy. Then there's Arpita, he's going to come home for P13, followed closely by MRCS. And then we've got Liam, who I think is a lap down, so that's got the can I get my words out, please? That's the grid rounded out for this weekend. Yeah, I agree, Gavra. Very good races. yeah, I've had very good races, 2 very good races. I think I've managed to stay off the counter a lot. I haven't really said or a lot, so velocity, you might have to judge me on that, I'm not too sure. But thanks so much for tuning into this. It's been incredible. I'm gonna show you all through the board now, as I'm kind of confused on why. Okay, we've got, yeah, Liam's left, so I think we've kind of confused me there. So Ben Roberts has won the race, so that's gonna move them to the top of the championship. I'm not too sure. Black Pixel has taken the driver of the day, so very nice for them. So Ben Roberts has taken home 2 victories, and both times we've had Mikey and JMB Surreal on the podium. So it's a bit like Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas, or is it, or am I just dreaming? I'm not too sure. But that's gonna round out the grid for this race in Silverstone. This is round 3 of the season 6 of the weekend league in Gavra Racing for F1 2020. I think this will be the last season on F1 2020 before we move to F1 2021. But here is the group, or the race results. So Ben Roberts has won the race, followed closely by Mikey. Ben Roberts took the win on penalties. Mikey is 2.1 seconds back on penalties. Then there's JMB Surreal, who rounds out the top 3. Then there's Heparino, Isaac Smart, De Hebler. Then there's Black Pixel, who has P7. Shortbread, who took P8. Kaflamo, who has P9. Simon that Apex rounds out the top 10. Then there's Tabby Top Decks, Chainsaw Boy, Arpita, and MRCS. Then there's Lennox, Liam, and Pictomix, who have all retired. But I think Liam, I'm not too sure what happened there. I think he had a glitch or something, so he decided to retire from the race, I think. So thank you all very, very much for tuning into this round of Weekend League. Thank you for staying to the end to hear my very, very monotonous voice. And thanks so much. So Velocity will be back for the next race, I can confirm, I think, unless Velocity is, so yeah, Zexify or Velocity was gone for this week. So thanks so much for tuning in, as I'll leave the lobby now, and we're gonna go to the next race, which I believe is in Suzuka, so come join us for that one. Velocity will be taking the reins again, and since he'll be back from Manchester, but I've been Andy, and this has been round 6 of the Weekend League season, season 6 of the Weekend League, round 3 at Silverstone, and this is gonna be the end of the stream now. So thanks for joining us, and I'll see you next round at Suzuka. Bye.